Hi, just thought I'd give you a quick rundown through the best practice tissue sampling and parent verification genomic testing procedures, PVGT for short. Normally we refer to PV, but yeah, it's genomic testing as well. It's not compulsory, any of this, it's just a best practice guide, and it just runs through a few things here, so let's go through them. So the first thing to do is plan your herd sampling regime to maximise benefit and to reduce the cost for you on a year-to-year basis. This should be done in accordance with the phase-in timeline for 2024, 25 and 26. But the best idea really is to test all your sires and especially stored semen as soon as you can. Semen's a little bit more expensive to test than the $21 for, $35 I should say, for the whole registration process. And you can do your dams as you desire later on. That said, we've given you that option by, in the rules, just saying one parent should be tested. The second thing is to make sure you've got TSU tubes with spares and the applicator for collecting the tissue sample out of the animal's ear. TSU tubes can be bought for a good price from the Red Pole website, and Genetic Hub will send them out to you once you put in your order and paid. You can also get them from Farmer's Mailbox and various other places online. The applicator we don't sell, unfortunately, but you can get them from Farmer's Mailbox, but there may be a cheaper version somewhere else, I'm not sure. But make sure you have all this stuff in advance of when you need them. I do recommend watching the tissue sampling videos before you go to the yards because they've got lots of handy tips and it's a really good demonstration. They're also on the Red Pole Members Genomics page. It's under the Members Performance Recording Genomics, and you can find it there. There's a number of videos made by the manufacturers and so forth. Sampling calves, including crossbreds, when you're doing ear tagging is a good thing to do in my view. The hole that's cut with the tissue sampler is really sharp and it doesn't hurt nearly as much as punching a hole through with the ear tags. And that hole can be reused for your ear tag or NLS tag, whatever it is that you'd like to use. So it's quite handy to get them done when they're calves because they're easy to handle. You've got to do it anyway for your own tagging purposes. And then the genomics is in the system forever for that animal. So you've got to do it at some stage. My view is you best do it as a calf, even though some of those calves will go on to be culls. It still gives you valuable information about the animals in your herd. Now, storage. I've said here, store them in the fridge until submission and don't keep them any longer than 3 months. The fridge is the best practice. Keep them upright so that the fluid doesn't leak out. You'll get a little box probably to put those tubes in so that they can stay upright. Now, having said store them in the fridge, that's sort of the best idea because it helps prevent any decay in the fluid that they're in. But I have kept mine at room temperature for a couple of months and DNA was extracted from all samples, so it's not crucial, but it is certainly best practice. As soon as you've done your sampling, put your TSU numbers into the herd logic as quickly as possible. This will prevent loss of data, prevent you misplacing your bit of paper with your numbers on it, whatever, so that those numbers can get put inside beside the animal in the herd logic database. That's the single important connection, that the tissue sample number, the long number, is in the database with the animal, because everything depends on that link from here forward. Obviously, it's best to keep your own records if you want, bits of paper and so forth with those numbers, but make sure they go into the database very quickly. You should assist fellow members if at all possible, because having transfers and so forth, some people may want you to sample an animal on their behalf, and I think that's a great practice to do if you can help those members get their progeny parent verified, for example. Remember, when you collect semen or embryos, be sure to sample the sire and dam at the same time, and so that way your semen and embryo buyers will already have the sire and dam in the system for their own parent verification. But it's also cheaper because semen costs a bit more, as I've said, so if you do the bull at that time when you're collecting, then that saves that additional cost. I don't know about testing embryos, but people probably don't want to waste any embryos for testing because it's a destructive process. So much better to do the dam at that time. Once you've done all of those things, you submit and pay via the Herd Logic interface, which becomes available on the 1st of July 2024, and it's pretty simple. All you do is put the animals in. It's pretty clear which ones you're going to submit. Click submit, pay for the service, and then await your results. Then you package the samples up. Package them carefully, wrap them in bubble wrap, whatever, and address it carefully. The address is here at the bottom. Make sure you do it correctly, obviously, and include a note saying that they're red pole tissue samples and your name. That just sort of helps if there's any follow-up questions, or if something's damaged or samples are leaked out or whatever. At least people can contact you and find out what's going on. So I've made this little label here. You might be able to just print one of these out. There's the name red pole TSUs. You can put your name and your stud name there, affix that to your envelope and post it off. Hope that's helpful.